Welcome to this channel. So in the past few weeks, I've been sharing breathing in ancient Wing Chun and how breathing is extremely important in ancient Wing Chun, in Chinese Kung Fu, in Qigong. And I'm pushing, yes, pushing, at least we in the West, using Vo2max as an indicator of the Qigong practice instead of Qi, Qi power, mind power, spine power, internal power, where nobody know what it is. It's up for everybody's opinion, and no way you can quantize it. But as soon as anybody dare to claim they have Qi, then they can be grandmaster. So I'm pushing that here on it is Vo2max. If you want to talk about the ancient Wing Chun or Kung Fu or Qi Gong, Vo2max is the bottom line. Okay. Now, due to that, I received many comments, such as Hendrik trying to use science in a way that make it sound like he has a secret knowledge while not applying the science correctly. And then Qi could be felt by student and patient. It is not VO2. Although oxygen is very important in training, Qi is energy that animates all living things and can be manipulated by mind. And also, I know all this Qi stuff is more than just breathing. It also has something to do with mind state. Some monk will hook on to machine and their brain wave will measure. And specifically, high gamma brain wave will detect. This proof weird things that seems physically impossible, including psychic phenomenon, healing, affecting people, all sort of stuff. That's the reason why I want to share this with you today. Clean the darn thing up once for all. If you notice, in this comment, it said that I know all this Qi, and then going on with his speculation, where he really don't know what is Qi. Okay, and as in say that Qi could be felt by student and patient, it is not VO2max. This share or this show also one don't know what is Qi. And with this thing, again, Hendrik tried to use science in the way that make it sound like he has secret knowledge while not applying the science correctly. You know what is this? This is a way how today in Wing Chun we can see commonly. You attack the person first, and then you pump in your own idea and make that your idea is legit. So if somebody say, Grandmaster Yip Man take opium, he is on opium, so he don't know Wing Chun. I know Wing Chun, my lineage is better. There's those type of nonsense, okay? You attack Grandmaster Yip Man and then you continues on your nonsense, okay? The same thing. Again, Hendrik tried to use science in that way, in a way that make it sound like he has a secret knowledge while not applying the science correctly. This is not provide evidence like scientific, where like in this channel, I show you everything in scientific. This is attack Hendrik, like you attack Grandmaster Yip Man, and then you pump in your idea, and then because of the person is attacked, so what one presents sound like true. This is just a illogic gimmick, okay? It's nonsense. So today I want to share this with you. It doesn't matter you are beginner or grandmaster. If you fail on this, forget about talking about chi. It doesn't matter what internal art you call or who is your teacher. This is science, okay? Now, number one, in ancient China, the real practice, be it Buddhist or Taoist, there is a chi development process. You like it or not, that is this process, this three-step process. If you don't have this three-step process, you have no clue of it, forget about it. That's why I'm saying that those tucking tailbone 以及 kamyongma need to be stopped because it's violating this left and right. Okay? Now, the first steps is, this is in Chinese, 练气吐纳. This is what breathing training, inhale, exhale training. Okay? The second step, after you're fluent with this, then the second step is 神以气和. You unify, you synchronize your awareness and the breathing, which you have already developed. Only when you have already achieved it deeply, you naturally will get into the next stage, which is awareness and your meridian, your chi, that energy become one, or unify, or synchronize. So first you have to develop your breathing. The second, you need to develop your breathing and your awareness synchronizations. The third, naturally, when you have that ability on the state 2, the mind and breathing is one, then you proceed into the awareness of the mind and the energy become one. Okay? This is a process. It doesn't matter you are Taoist or you are Buddhist. It goes through this way. Anybody who practice anapanasati, it can go this way. The teaching of Buddhism, anapanasati, the samatha. Okay? Now, let's take step 1. Okay? The step 1 is the breathing practice. What is it practice? Why it is practice like the other day I'm saying that the breathing, the proper breathing, which is your diaphragm and your pelvic floor muscle synchronize. And this pathway is called qi lu in Mandarin, or breathing pathway. You can call it ventilations handling. You know how to handle the ventilations on here. And when you practice this thing, this is the practice also, it is called senjiang, the practice of senjiang, which is rising and sinking, rising and descending. Okay, this is the practice of the breathing. And this is actually what it mentioned in the 5th. In the 5th of 1850s Wing Chun Quinquit, the 5th verses. Union in the Dantian, do meridians descends and rising. This is what it is. The Y5 here in the Wing Chun Inception. Okay, if you have the book, page 11, Y5. Okay, the Chinese is very precise and concise when he write the writing like the Shilim Tao classic. One need to know all this thing in order to decode what the heck is the Y5. Okay, the verses number 5 is, or else it is not. Oh, my interpretation, your interpretation, my grandmaster said, I think so, I know it so. What do you know? If you cannot do this, forget about it. You don't have the Gongfu. You don't even start yet if you don't have this. Okay? So if you never heard about this Qi Lu, this breathing pathway, or have the ventilation handling of your breathing, Forget about it. Okay? You don't know anything. Yeah, you can say, well, Hendrik, how can you get so rough and talk this so tough? This is the bottom line, okay? Or else you are selling snake oil, playing expert, making believe. And how many people can get screwed if you say that? Now, I'm sharing this in all the channel. Am I the guy who make it sound like I has a secret knowledge? What secret? In this channel, there's no secret. I tell you exactly where the thing is and how the process is, okay? So stop to attack me personally. If you don't know, you don't know, okay? Now, you're speaking of Vo2max. So what is a Vo2max? Instead of getting like this person say, Vo2max is how much energy you can produce with a certain amount of oxygen with your aerobic system. Okay, this is what he said. VO2 max is how much energy you can produce with a certain amount of oxygen with your aerobic system. That is called conversion, but VO2 max is not like that. So what is a VO2 max? VO2 max, the higher the VO2 max is like the bigger your engine, like your car engine. It's not like conversion as this person said. Okay, what he's mentioning, talking about is a conversion. He don't even know what is a VO2 max. VO2 max is the higher VO2 max will get you a higher engine, a bigger engine. So if you want to fight in the uh, competitions in martial arts, you want the big engine, and you can measure the engine, quantize it with a VO2 max. Okay. And as the Qigong, you pay attention to this, the first one, okay? The first one, okay? Now let's get back to that, the VO2 max first, and then look at it. So VO2 max has three components, three important components, okay, for VO2 max. The first is lung capacity and heart volume, or the oxygen intake volume. That's the first one. If you want to raise your VO2 max, you have to know these three components. The second is capillary delivery, oxygenated blood circulation, in other words. The third is muscle efficiency. Okay, now just look at this lung capacity, oxygen intake volume. With this, number one, okay, the development of the breathing, okay, would have the ventilation handling or breathing pathway or rising and sinking in the ancient Chinese, in Qigong, in Taoist, or in Buddhist. So you look at this thing, if you really have the training of Qigong, you have this, you are going to be able to measure your VO2 max, and you know that you have a handling of your lung capacity, you improve it from like usually chest breathing to this full blown the dantian breathing. Okay, first step. So anybody who really have gone through this development know that if your student get it or not, you check his VO2 max from beginning of the training and after the training, see that it changed or not, it increased or not. Okay, it is scientific. You can check that now. So it is not Hendrik. Hendrik tried to use science in a way that make it sound like he has a secret knowledge while not applying the science correctly. What the heck you mean by I'm not applying science correctly? This is the process. This is what you need to develop. This is what the component of VO2 max. You measure your VO2 max improvement. You know that if you train that, you know whether you progress or not. Quantize it. Okay. So that's why Not saying that I'm the grandmaster or whatever heck, which I don't really care. That's why I be able to do this. The Vo2max, the breathing rate, and the anaerobic and the aerobic training efficiency. Because I have to handle this. I have the handle on this thing. And that's why I know it's going to influence the Vo2max. Okay? So keep it straight. If you want to talk about Qi Gong, this is the kindergarten. If one couldn't even pass this kindergarten, forget about what it is. It's all speculation. That's why people cannot answer to Xi Xiaodong. Because one really don't know. Now, if you are in Taoist or in the Buddhist and you really develop this, okay? So this is a breathing one, this is the energy is one. When your awareness and your energy is one, guess what? It's going to influence your capillary delivery and muscle efficiency. No bullshit, okay? So if you really develop that, you're going to see it here. To the minimum, if you develop this, you're going to see it here. You're going to influence one of the component. And of course, you're going to influence this too because your body is relaxed, and while you're doing this heavy, really deep breathing and so forth. That's why this can be using for what? Recovery, deep recovery. Okay, which is oxygenated blood circulation in your body for recovery, internal organs like your six healing sound. So this is the bottom line, and that's why I share with you this. This is my Vo2max per yesterday. This is how I train in the hard qigong level. You know, how much money I have to spend on this tracker just to track this thing, and just make a correlation with that because this is engineering. Okay. And also for this breathing, the volume of the breathing stuff. Okay. Now it is scientific proven with this. You want to know what is your training in the Qi Gong and everything? You can actually correlate. You know the relationship, and you can measure. You can measure here. And of course, this is very expensive. We talk about Vo2max. This is expensive. Okay, this is thousands of dollars here because it's top of the line thing. So guess what? You know why I'm wearing this today? I'm wearing it to sleep. I'm wearing it to walk and everything. Because this is the very affordable $150 where you can measure your Vo2max and you can measure your training effect. Okay. The weakness of this is you cannot do interval training like a really high intensity interval training because dynamically this is not that good. But it can give you the very good Vo2max and the training. So say for example, you really develop this. You can take a brisk walk. You measure the Vo2max and you're working your aerobic and anaerobic efficiency, training efficiency with this $150 or something. Not spending thousands of dollars because it's not worth it just to get the dynamic. And so everybody here on be able to get a fitness tracker like that, $150. You know exactly what you train, how hard you train, how high the intensity you train. Like in the other video, I mentioned about you have the soft qigong for your recovery, your hard qigong, but not everybody can train the hard qigong. You need to know your body condition. You don't want to go too much, too intense and screw yourself up. That's what I'm working at. Like I'm saying that I'm like a detective, okay, not grandmaster or anything. Of course, I need to know what I'm doing. I need to be able to prove whether I'm doing the things and it can be verified by science or not. Okay, so stop on those. Oh, Hendrik is make it like he knows some secret. What secret? Oh, Hendrik apply science wrongly. If I apply science wrongly, I can have this result. Repeatable, okay? And can you check your thing with this thing? Your Qi training and your Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao training with this thing? Go get this and then get the result. You want to get top of the line things, go check it and get the result. So I sound mad, right? I am emphasizing this thing here is because there are at least tens of thousands of Wing Chuners out in the West and around the world who speak English. Are you going to screw everybody with their nonsense chi this, internal this, and try to make it like a know-it-all expert in what in Vo2max when one is clueless on what is Vo2max, like in this comment? And if other people believe on you, what happened? As what I make example just now. Grandmaster Yip Man took opium so that he don't know Wing Chun. My Wing Chun, my lineage is better than Yip Man lineage. Is that a proper way to presenting? Is it real logical? Of course it's not. Yip Man, Grandmaster Yip Man can mistakenly or by some reason took opium, but that doesn't discount from his knowledge of Wing Chun, which he have studied for decades. Just put that clear, okay? On the other hand, who don't make mistake anyway? Even the Honga Iron Fist 3, the Grandmaster of Honga who invented the Iron Fist, Iron Wire Fist, took opium. That's at their generation, their era. So don't twisting this around and this to promote oneself, to make oneself look big. We don't need those nonsense. What we need is get this thing straight out. You have tens of thousands of Wing Chuners need to know, deserve to know what happened with the ancient Chinese Wing Chun teaching and be able to develop it. If one don't know this, one can develop the Vo2max with today's scientific process. Okay? So I'm saying here is, you know this is equivalent. Now, if you do not know this ancient process, you can develop this with today's scientific process. Anything which is violating or against the today's scientific process, you don't want to practice. That is the bottom line of today. Otherwise, you don't have future. You screw all the tens of thousands of people. And as yesterday, I shared the YouTube on the Qing thinking, the Qing mindset. As soon as one take one as a grandmaster and keeping badmouth other people by for whatever their own selfish agenda, that's going to screw the entire thing. You see the entire Qing collapse. So we cannot afford that. No, Wing Chun is not anybody's or any family's stuff. Wing Chun is the legacy to all for the legacy of all Wing Chuners worldwide, disregard of it is skin color, race, or nationality. As soon as they are Wing Chunner, they spend time there, they buy C, they study, they put their time on it, they pay their tuition fee, it belongs to them. And it has to be clear for them. It's like a customer, they pay you money, they buy a product. Don't you want to take care of your product? So stop to playing those expert, okay? If you don't know, say don't know. That's why, again, this is ancient Chinese. This is modern. And you look at the MMA training, it's like with this. Xi Xiaodong training and so forth is with this MMA. Zhang Weili training is with this, the UFC fighter. And this is the ancient. Now, if you don't know this ancient, you're keeping talking about chi. According to you, your grandmaster or whatever speculation, you're actually screwing things left and right. And that's why you'll not be able to answer to what he's talking about. And by the way, this is the reason why the 6 core element in this book, Basic Wing Chun Art and Science, that's why breathing range at 3rd element, the chi, the energy rate at the 4th element. Because if you don't handle this, forget about this. And that's why in the Wing Chun Inception, I continue on to make things clear. I continue on to make things clear on the nurture chi part. The nurture chi part, that is actually the beginning of this. Everybody know that N1 I mentioned on the other video. The N1, you need the N1 and then the 2C in Wing Chun matrix to develop that thing. And if you develop that thing, you can feel the difference, but you can verify with the Vo2max. Quantize it. So there's no nonsense fake grandmaster, okay? Or fake expert. Only this way you can face Xi Xiaodong. If you don't go do this way, forget about it. People look at you and laugh, okay? You want that? It is a time of wake up. Enough is enough. Know what is real science is. Today's Western sports science is very advanced compared with the ancient, because it start to be able to parallel, to correlate things. And whatever a lot of this chi belief today is nonsense. It got nothing to do with the ancient, got nothing to do with the reality of science. That's why you cannot explain it with science or sports science.